Imagine getting this brief. Build a massive, multi-generational villa on a steep, rocky cliff, like 450 meters above sea level, and do it without digging into the hillside or destroying the delicate ecosystem. Okay, let's unpack this, because today we are taking a deep dive into the award-winning Skyhaven Residence in Ghouma, Lebanon. Using a stack of architectural profiles and geographical data, we're exploring how modern design solves some incredibly complex physical and social puzzles.
And to understand how they even attempted this, you really have to look at the ground itself. The historic village of Ghouma sits on highly fractured marine limestone, dating back to the Cretaceous era.
Wait, why does the specific geological era actually matter for building a house?
Well, because rock from that specific era is incredibly dense and compressed. It gives the cliff the exact shear strength needed so the edge doesn't just shear off and crumble under the immense weight of a building.
Okay, so if they aren't doing the normal thing, digging deep and building massive retaining walls, how is this massive concrete house actually staying up? Are we talking about something like giant L brackets you'd use for a heavy bookshelf just drilled straight into the mountain?
That is actually a perfect way to visualize it. BLANKPAGE Architects used heavy reinforced concrete corbels, those are your giant brackets, and anchored them deep into that solid Cretaceous bedrock.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so the rotational force of the house pulling down is countered by the sheer density of the cliff. The result is a home that literally floats over the natural landscape.
That's wild.
Right? What's fascinating here is the profound connection between the local geology and the architecture. That very same dense limestone bedrock is famous for forcing local banner and vine roots to grow deep into its fractures.
Oh, to find water.
Exactly, which creates the crisp minerality in the region's boutique grapes. So the rock provides both the wine's flavor and the extreme load-bearing capacity required for these massive structural cantilevers.
So since they couldn't spread out horizontally on those brackets without putting too much leverage on the cliff, they had to build upward. But stacking a multi-generational family vertically creates a whole new problem. I mean, housing both the client and his parents under one roof without driving each other crazy.
The architects solved this through a stark contrast in materials to physically separate the generations. The lower floor is the grounded anchor.
Like a heavy base.
Yeah, a heavy corrugated concrete disc that intentionally mimics the vertical patterns of the natural limestone cliffs. It houses the private bedrooms and a shared Japanese-inspired meditation room.
Got it. And the top floor.
Resting directly on top of that heavy base is the upper floor. It's a lightweight, fully glass-walled pavilion capped with an aerodynamic wing-shaped roof to deflect the intense coastal winds.
So what does this all mean for actual living? I mean, sure, a shared meditation room and an open-plan glass pavilion sound beautiful, but a glass box is basically a giant echo chamber.
That's a very fair point.
Right. If the client is hosting a loud dinner party in the glass pavilion, are the parents trying to read 10 feet below just supposed to suffer through the noise?
This raises an important question about how architecture dictates human behavior and mitigates conflict. They actually accounted for the acoustics of the glass by using the lower floor as a barrier.
How does that work?
The grounded concrete lower disc acts as a massive acoustic sink. The sheer density of the concrete absorbs the vibrations and footfalls from the floor above, isolating the sound rather than letting it bounce around a shared open space.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it gives both families an absolute quiet sanctuary downstairs. You only go up to the glass pavilion when you're ready to be social and share that acoustic space.
That self-contained, isolated family structure perfectly mirrors the building's physical isolation from the environment.
Absolutely. The estate is entirely energy autonomous. They rely on a massive array of high-efficiency solar panels, which is crucial given the region's utility grid instability.
Right, for sure.
But that active power generation only works because of the brilliant passive strategies reducing the overall energy load.
Like using that giant concrete lower floor.
Precisely. That heavy concrete disc acts as a thermal mass. It literally absorbs the intense Mediterranean heat during the peak of the day, trapping it so the inside stays cool.
And then it releases it later.
Exactly. It slowly releases that stored warmth at night when the coastal winds pick up and temperatures drop. They paired this with natural cross ventilation from the sliding glass facades.
Wow.
And they even buried an office pavilion entirely under an insulating green roof to naturally regulate its temperature.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. They actually integrated built-in planters directly between the dual concrete shells of that lower floor. I read they planted cascading rosemary in them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful touch.
So over time, rather than just sitting on the cliff, this raw industrial concrete facade is literally merging back into the native prairie ecosystem as the greenery spills over the walls.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Skyhaven proves that modern, boundary-pushing architecture can honor ancient traditions rather than erasing them. As the downhill landscape fades into native prairie, the uphill side transitions into traditional dry stone retaining walls.
That's such a great contrast.
It is. They are using this extreme modern cantilever technology, but actively paying homage to the ancient agricultural stone terracing of the Batran district.
It really reminds you that extreme constraints, whether that's a precipitous 450-meter drop, avoiding grid failures, or just navigating the tricky dynamics of multi-generational living, often force the most brilliant innovations.
I couldn't agree more.
So we will leave you with this to ponder. If you had to build a floating multi-generational home hanging off the edge of a cliff, what specific shared space would you design to guarantee family harmony?